Is your favorite snack cracker deceiving you? Well, if your favorite brand is Wheat Thins, yes, they have been lying to you. And I feel like that's so over dramatic, but it's true. Oh my gosh. So, Mondelez, which owns Wheat Thins, has agreed to pay $10 million to settle a class action lawsuit. Basically, their deceptively labeled crackers were stated as 100% whole grain, even though they contained cornstarch, which is a refined grain. It's more educated. It's very refined.
It has a
Okay, no,
bachelor's.
it's just processed more, da da da. So it's not considered, this is right up there with the whole not 100% natural.
Okay.
So the lawsuit was filed back in October of 2022, and it centers around the claims that consumers bought numerous wheat thin products, including, and I didn't even know all these existed, so this was very cool. So we have original, reduced fat, sun-dried tomato and basil, big, hint of salt, ranch, cracked pepper, and olive oil. And then this is the one that I really want to try, spicy sweet chili. So, and they claim that since 2018, and they bought these products because they believed they were 100% whole grain. However, the lawsuit alleges that these customers would not have bought the crackers, or they would have wished to pay a whole lot less for them if they had known that Mondelez labels were false. Ooh, I mean,
Deception.
deception, definitely. And, Wheat Thins, they are not cheap. Like,
No.
I can't remember the last time I bought like real Wheat Thins because I buy the off-brand Wheat Thins,
Yeah.
and they don't come in good flavors like that. They
No.
don't. But so, in addition to paying millions of dollars, the settlement requires Mondelez to, of course, no longer use the 100% whole grain, but the settlement grants Mondelez a sell-through period of 18 months after the final date to make the label change. So of course the company can sell all existing products and packaging inventory because they don't just make Wheat Thins fresh every day. They probably have a warehouse somewhere full of Wheat Thins, and they can
Yep.
sell all that off for 18 months before the label change has to go into effect. Now, this has basically gone to a federal judge to get a final approval because it just has preliminary approval. Final approval may not happen until the end of 2025. And if you have bought Wheat Thins and you feel deceived, actually, I don't even technically think you have to feel deceived, just if you bought Wheat Thins, you could receive a refund of anywhere from $4.50 to $20, depending on if you kept receipts and how many Wheat Thin boxes you bought. Wowzers. I will say
Who keeps receipts?
I'm hungry now for Wheat Thins, like with crackers and pepperoni. And honestly, do I care that it is 99.78% whole grain? No, I do not care.
No. You're usually buying it for the flavor. You're not like counting all of your whole grain fibers.
So,
But
yes,
like,
I get that this company was deceptive because it didn't have like a little asterisk next to the 100%. But then again, I think we've talked in the past that in order to be called organic, it just has to be like 90% organic. So I feel
yeah.
like, is this kind of the same thing where it's 98% whole grain? So that's pretty close to 100%. We're just rounding up, you know? So,
But here's the thing, like it'd be like you claiming that something is organic that meets the 90% criteria, but it's actually made with organic. And it's only the 70% criteria has been met. But like again, you're not meeting the standard of what's on the box. And like we put so much heavily on the outside of the box just because of like they spend so much money to make it appealing to you,
I mean,
and to think that that was
100%
going to
whole grain is truly marketing. They don't
yeah
put it on the box unless they knew that customers would purposely go for that option. So if
yeah
you see it on the box, it's because it's going to convince somebody to buy it. So yes, I do see both sides of it. Do I feel like I have personally been attacked by a deceptive cracker called Wheat Thin? No. But I feel like this is a heads up to any food company. You better make sure that all the marketing on your packaging is not just 99.78% correct, it is 100% correct, and you have the receipts to back it up.
Yeah.
Because, oh my gosh, we have just seen some of these crazy, like all natural lawsuits, made with natural ingredient lawsuits, natural flavor lawsuits. I mean, I expect we're going to see a lot more of these.
While it does feel a little asinine, I do appreciate that they're holding these companies' feet to the fire. Like it feels okay. The point
Well,
0.03% that's not whole wheat. Like, yes, that's, but at the same time though, it's, you can't just put something on the front of the box because you think it's going to make us buy it. Like, that's
well,
not how this works.
on one side, I appreciate this judge that made this ruling because there was a past claim where it stated that if a consumer bought boneless chicken nuggets, a judge ruled that it is possible it could still contain bone fragments. Okay. And of course, I'm like, it's called boneless. It's not mostly boneless, kind of boneless,
Yeah.
it's boneless. But yeah, there was a lawsuit by a consumer who bit into chicken nuggets that had bone fragments in it. And the judge ruled against the consumer, saying that a reasonable consumer would understand that there is a possibility of getting fragments in your boneless chicken.
I mean, I buy boneless thighs, right? Bought a big old bag of them at Costco because it's cheaper and I like the chicken, whatever. Anyways, so I come home, cut all 3 bags open, drop them in the calendar, let it drain, and then I trim off the fat, bag them up, throw them in the freezer, right? Because I've got like 6 pounds of chicken. And yeah, I came across some bone fragments. And I think the difference is in whole pieces of chicken like that, there
Versus a
is a
nugget.
greater expectation, yeah, than a chicken nugget. Because a chicken nugget oftentimes is not like chunks of meat, it's a slurry. So
Actually,
like,
I believe that this was boneless chicken wings now that I think about it.
oh,
So, which I think of as just chicken nuggets, but depending on the brand and whatnot, they could actually be somewhat chunks of meat, even though they're not technically wings. But whole other
my 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 brain sees chicken nuggets, I think of like the
ground.
smoosh of ground chicken instead of like actual small
I don't
pieces of
know.
chicken.
There is some I've seen a couple brands of like the popcorn chicken where it's actually chunks of meat. Like when you open it, you
Yeah.
can see the strands. It's not like, pre-chewed
And that's
chicken.
and that's different. I think in that case, I actually kind of agree that there could be some expectation that there could be chicken bones in it. Should be very small fragments, but nonetheless, like
Yeah.
the possibility exists when you're looking at whole chunks of chicken.
And
It's just
there's
what.
not a warehouse where you have 72 ladies cutting up, chicken. These are going through machines. Yes, they have quality
Probably.
control and they have lasers and whatnot to spot it, but things do get past it. But back, on track here, we're talking about deceptive crackers named wheat thins. Am I going to stop buying them? No. I
You
stopped
don't buy them
buying
in the
them.
first place.
I stopped buying them because they were too expensive. Because, I mean, honestly, $4.50 a box, I can't afford that.
Yeah,
But I can't afford like the $1.78 at Walmart. And even then, I don't think I've bought any in a while. But if somebody else were to buy wheat thins and leave them at my house, yes, I'm still going to eat them.
fair enough. Fair enough.
So
If
let
you've
us know
got,
down below. Are you disappointed with wheat thins and their deceptive claims of 100% whole grain? Will it make you stop purchasing them, or you'll just wait until the updated packaging with an asterisk next to the 100%? Let us know down below.